We are back. You've heard Michael speaking about sowing with a purpose. So amazing, so amazing. So let's recap for a little bit. You remember we started from the beginning saying that when you build a house, you have a foundation. Then you build the walls and you fill the rooms. And then you put a roof on top. So the foundation is called tithing. It has 3 promises. Opens the gates of heaven, pours out blessing. The devourer cannot steal from you anymore. Everybody's going to call you blessed. Then Michael spoke about the walls and filling the rooms. It's sowing with a purpose. You sow the seed with your own purpose. That gets on top of the tithing. It's not just in the air. I haven't seen walls just in the air. I've seen walls on the foundation. Walls in the air, they don't last. But walls on the foundation, they last. It's a legit house. So you fill the rooms, sow the seed with your purpose. This is a perfect ground. This is a very good ground. You send your donation with a purpose. Yes, we go into mission trips and we bring life into the darkness and everything that the Lord is doing through us. But your purpose should be whatever you have use for. You sow the seed here, like say $20, and your purpose is, I want money for my vacation, or I want money for my school, or I want to get a new car, or I want to pay this debt off. Your purpose. And now we put the roof. The roof is called alms, or giving to the poor. There is the covenant regarding this alms, and we can find it in Proverbs 19:17, and it says this: he who has pity on the poor lends to the Lord, or he who gives to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will pay back what he was given. Before I knew about this thing, and it was in my head for a long time before I understood how the Father thinks a little bit. And I was thinking, no, man, I don't deserve anything. Everything I'm giving to the Lord is because I'm in debt to the Lord, and I have to please Him, and this is my debt. I owe this to the Lord. He gives me life. He gives me sight to my eyes. He gives me health in my body. He gives me insanity, and I owe Him. But that's not how the Father thinks. That's not how the Father thinks. Alms, he who gives to the poor lends to the Lord. It doesn't say that he gives to the Lord what he owes Him. He's lending to the Lord, and the Lord gives everything back, abundantly increased. You give to the poor in faith, not out of fear or obligation. You think like your Father thinks. He's a rewarder of those who seek Him. Check this out, James 11:6. We read this verse before. But without faith, it is impossible to please Him. For he who comes to God must believe that He is, and that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. When you give to the poor in faith, you know I lend it to the Lord. And He doesn't keep it just like that. He gives it back. He gives it absolutely back to you, a lot of increase. Now, I've seen this done in the body of Christ quite a lot of times. They go through nearby by some poor people, and oh no, he smells like smoking, or he smells like drinking, and I'm not going to give anything. You don't have anything to do with that guy. You bless that guy, but actually you give it to the Lord. You lend the money to the Lord. You don't you even dare thinking what the guy's doing with the money. You give to the poor, you lend to the Lord. He can drink it, he can do whatever. That's not your business. Your business is, I have faith in the Word, and I give it in faith, and I lend it to the Lord. He can do whatever with the money. That's not our business. So the Father doesn't do anything just because. He has a very specific purpose in everything He's doing. As we said, He keeps the tree on the ground for the fruit to bring forth. He doesn't just keep the ground occupied with the tree because the tree looks good. He wants the tree to bring forth fruit. This is how the Father thinks. Now, let's do a small recap of what we got so far. Tithing, practically on the ground. Let's say you get $2,000 from your job. You get 10%, you get $200, you gave it to the Lord, you gave it to the storehouse where you get fed from. You gave it there. So you are left with $1,800. From the $1,800, you sow seed with your purpose, like Michael spoke about. You sow seed with your purpose in a good ground. Choose a good ground. Don't just sow it anywhere. Choose a good ground. With your purpose, name the purpose for that money you sow. It's also, you can call it offerings and stuff like that. But we call it seed sown with a purpose. And 3, from the same money that's left, you give, to the poor in faith. You lend it to the Lord in faith. We're going to take a small break now. And we're going to get back to you with some tips as sons. Really amazing and important things we're going to talk about. So see you in a few moments.